Welcome back to the channel, Classic Volkswagen Lovers Junior with a classic VW Bucks and Sonny the Super Beetle. Monday I got my package from EMPI off of eBay store, and it was for a set of 3 spokes knockoffs for my VW, so I can install them in my EMPI vintage 8-spoke wheels. Off the get-go, I know I'm going to experience some trouble installing them already by the look at them, and I'll walk you through the process when I get to those things. But are they pretty? Yes, they are. Are they practical? No. And the reason being is because the way that the 3 spokes set in front of the wheel does not allow you or provide you a quick release of the tire, or in other words, it's not so practical that if you ever get stranded with a flat tire, you can immediately remove your tire. You're gonna have to go through the hassle of making sure that you don't lose the little Allen set screw wrench that fastens these in place. Now, I tried to install these, and right off, when I started, I knew I was going to have trouble with it. So I was wondering whether or not I wanted to install these. So I emailed back EMPI customer service, and I told them that this didn't fit right, which really they don't fit right. I have to make them fit right if I am going to use them. And the response that I got from them, which it was surprising to me because I have purchased from this store before and I haven't had issues if I had ever had to return something. But this time, whoever responded back to me said, I have never encountered a situation where a 2-spoke or a 3-spoke from EMPI does not fit an 8-spoke vintage wheel, that it's a 4x130. But the fact is that in my case, off the package, they do not fit right, and I'll walk you through the process. So right off the package, you'll have to grab a small bag that contains 4 set screws each for each of them, and then you have to install these little set screws here. For me, the fastest way was by inserting them and starting to thread them from the outside in, and then using my Allen wrench that came in the package and backing them inside the opening of your adapter here. So what is the biggest issue that I encounter with this? The biggest issue is that you can see that I already have one installed, and if I put this back on, yeah, it'll fit there. I can thread it, and and I can move this back and forth, to put these bolts in. However, if I ever get stranded and I happen to lose this little Allen wrench set, I will definitely be screwed, because if you can see, there is no possible way to set this in a manner that you can say that you can use a socket to exchange your tire for your spare tire in the event that you get a flat and you get stranded. So you got to make sure you don't lose this little wrench here. Okay, so that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, at least for my 1971 Super Beetle, if you look in here, this adapter is already in place, is already tight. The set screws are already tight, and you can see that they are protruding out a little bit. So what happens with that? When you go to install it, right here, this cap here, look what happens. It interferes with those set screws. So this won't even go in with those set screws protruding out. So can I make it work? Yes. So what's my plan? My plan is to basically drive these set screws all the way in and then get a grinder and cut a few threads off of that and hope that it still works and holds the adapter in the 8-spoke wheel here. So I got to take this one out and experiment by doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and once I do that, I'll try that and see what it looks like, and perhaps see if that's going to work. And as always, every time I'm trying to say something or record something, an aircraft flies by because I live in an air zone. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take, again, sorry about that, I'm going to take the set screw, I'm going to drive the set screw all the way in, and then I'm going to grab my grinder and cut off a few threads off of the set screw to see if that works. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, but basically you drive the set screw all the way in so that it just rests flush with the inside diameter of this adapter, and then I'm going to cut a few threads. Okay, so I need you to take a look at this here and see what's happening. I already drove all of the set screws in here all the way in, and when I try to put this on, you can see that it will not even go over this dust cap. Now I'm pretty sure that there's got to be a irregularity in terms of the fabrication here. If I take this one here, you can see that it wants to go in, but then it won't go all the way through. So that's the same scenario with that tire that you see there, which I already installed one of these, and I could not drive it in. But the problem I encounter now is that when I was trying to get the tire installed previously, these set screws were protruding out in this end here, and when I installed the tire, I didn't think that that was going to be an issue. I thought I had enough clearance, but it turned out that it bent. The set screws, two of them are bent, and I can't not get them out. So I got to come up with a solution. Now I know that that tire, at least I was trying to install it, it was trying to go in, and then it got to a point where it got stuck. So I may have to take a flapper wheel and grind this off from here so that it clears and it goes all the way in to the back of the cap. Okay, so if you can take a look in here, that set screw right there, it broke, and then this one right here, it's bent. I can't get it out. This one I can, so I might have to see if I can drive this in, let it sit there, let it be where it is at, and then take my die grinder with a flapper wheel and then grind off some of the metal to see if this will actually clear and go into the dust cap over my rotor. Okay, so I got my little shop die grinder, and with a stone I grind off the excess of the set screw that was protruding out inside here, and then I went around and I rimmed the adapter. So now we're gonna go ahead and give it a test fit to see if that's gonna work. And if that's gonna work, then I'll have to do the same on the other side, which is the driver's side. I'm not sure yet about the rear, so we'll get to that when I get to the rear tire. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and try this one on and see if that works. Okay, so that's a good fit now. It even spins, so I think we can make that work now. So I'll go ahead and put these bolts in. Just do like that. Okay, let's give it a test fit again. Let's get those in. So this one here, this one right here. So that's in. We just knock these with this little cheater wrench I got right here. Take a look here to make sure that you're flat coupled against the rotor, and then I'm going to grab this guy here and that. So the way that these will go on here now, you have to thread it in and go so far that it won't scratch your spokes panes. So that right there now hits, so I'm going to back it up about 2 turns. And then I got to find out, actually I'm going to go like that. Now I got to find this set screw here and snug it. much it right there. I gotta make sure I don't ever lose this little wrench here. That's gonna go into the little ashtray that it's inside the car in a plastic bag with a label that says "Do not lose it." Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the first one. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on the other side. Basically, I'll do the same thing I did on this side here. I'll do it in the driver's side, and then I'll move to the back of the car. Okay, so this is the driver's side wheel. So we're going to repeat the same thing that we did with the passenger side. We're going to grind off some of the inside diameter of the adapter, just like we did with the other one. And I'm going to use my little tool shop die grinder to do so. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Give it a try. Okay, so my idea worked. So basically, again, just repeating what I did. Grind off some of the excess material from the inside diameter. As well, I had to grind off the set screws because they would not allow me to install the tire over the dust cap. I still don't like the idea about the set screw on the piece that goes here, but again, I will have to make sure I don't lose that little Allen wrench. So let's go ahead and bolt it on. The lug bolts, I always say that you should be able to drive them by hand first. That's not going in easy, so yep, so I'm gonna have to grind some more off of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grind off some more and then come back and try it. All right, so this time I was able to install all 4 bolts with ease. So again, you know, I was expecting not to have to do any type of modification for an EMPI product that's been out in the market for so long. These are vintage EMPI A-spoke wheels, and those should have gone into that wheel with ease, and they did not. So I guess, you know, maybe some people have the same problem and they do not record it or, you know, or share it in the Volkswagen community, or maybe it's a common problem and, you know, people just opt to just fix it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and torque those and then move to the rear. All right, folks, so there you have it. I end up having to bore all of the centerpiece adapters to be able to install it here. What I did in front, I also had to do in the rear. So basically, the set screws that holds the little adapter that goes in the middle to hold this piece, which is actually threaded there, and then there is also a set screw to hold it in place. I had to do the same all the way around the car. So do I recommend these? I don't. I got them because I liked them when I saw them online, and I thought, I mean, that, you know, that they were going to be like a perfect fit, just something that you buy off the eBay. It's an EMPI product with an EMPI wheel. It was going to be a perfect fit, but it turned out not to be. So I end up having to modify it a little bit. Did I make it work? Yes. Do I like how they look on the wheels? I do. Do I love it? I don't love it. So I might end up in the near future buying just a little bullet shape and install them. But for the time being, you know, I'll just keep these. Maybe they'll grow into me, maybe not. But so far, so good. I really have not taken the car out for a drive to test drive it, because I still have to align the car, and I don't want to risk a chance, you know, to get the tires, you know, worn out and stuff like that yet. So I'll have to set up an appointment to get it aligned. I wanted to align it myself, but you know, the old lady said, you know what, just pay to get it aligned and get it done over, and that's it. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm still waiting on my chrome lug bolts, so that's another thing that I'm gonna be replacing. So that's how it's, you know, looking now. I'm liking the look of it. So the tires that I have installed are 195/65 R15, and these are the Michelin, yeah, the Michelin brand. So Michelin brand, 195/65 R15. So those are the ones that I have. Right now, let me go ahead and get a tape measure to measure from the fender down to the ground. So from the fender to the ground, you got roughly 27 inches. 27 inches. I had the car jacked up, so my inserts were just hanging. So what that does is just, you know, stress the insert out for a little bit until after a little while of it sitting on the ground, it settles. But I just took the cart down from the jack stand, and you can see here it's reading basically 3 inches right now. But if I put some weight in it, it goes down. It goes down to 2.5 inches, which is 2.5 inches all the way around. Now, remember that ideally I wanted it to be at 2 inches, and that's probably something that eventually I'll get it down to that height. But again, what I am doing right now, it's trying to assess, you know, an assessment and weigh if eventually these spring coils, they fatigue a little bit. This may just come down that 1/2 inch. Now remember, I have not even driven this car around. I just move it back and forth here in my driveway just to test it, you know, to test the brakes and stuff like that. And I think the furthest I've gone, it's just around the corner to the gas station to put, you know, gas in the tank. But when I sit on the car and I put my weight in the car, it actually goes down. So you can see that. But what I like about what just happened, you know, that it didn't go down all the way, you know, the first try, is that I have enough clearance. I have enough clearance to turn, you know, to the right or to the left, and I'm not concerned that the fender is going to rub over that tire. Meanwhile, if I even lower it to be exactly at 2 inches, it will still work. But for the time being, I'm just gonna leave it like that and see what happens. I'm kind of like doing an experiment. So that's pretty much it right there. Well, anyway, folks, that's it for right now. If you like the contents of my video and this is your first time watching my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, this is Junior with Classic VW Bucks. Junior out.